Starts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mental Health Live Chat. We are on episode 13. I can't believe it's 13 episodes already. This is crazy cool. Yay! We just gotta wait for some people to come in. But hopefully everybody can hear and see us okay. I rearranged. So my camera doesn't like me at the moment and keeps going in and out. So as in I will get dark and then I'll get light. I'll get dark and I'll get light. So, and then I got to keep adjusting it to try to get it to where I keep remembering to look at the camera instead of down at my keyboard that I'm more comfortable with.
You're a pro.
I try.
I mean, after all these episodes, you have to be a pro. There's my notification that you're on. I need to mute my phone because it will go off. I'm surprisingly having sales today.
Us too. I actually had, let's see, I've been selling a lot of decals and stuff like that. So for the printing business. So, see, it just went blurry. I apologize. Hello, Rebecca. I can't do it like Tommy, but welcome them flipping grooters. Tommy does it best because he'll get up into the camera and you just see his eye, like this part of his face, and he'd be like, them flipping grooters. He actually helped come up with their name, their YouTube name. It's pretty awesome. Oh, yeah. How you doing, Rebecca?
Hi, Rebecca. How are you, girl? Thank you for the Facebook Messenger message about the you-know-what. The ibuprofen. I'll just say ibuprofen. Are we allowed to even say that word in your video? I don't know.
Ibuprofen?
It just can't be in the title? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how it all works, but I just know that a lot of videos are being taken down because of what's going on right now. And so those two words together, and the other word that starts with a P that's all over the place. Those words, not so much, but if people, whatever people want to talk about in chat, I'm here for them. And I know that it's a frustrating time for everybody. And so, especially if we have mental health issues. Yes. So Tommy says the beer sickness. That's how he refers to it. And so when he says that, I know what he's talking about. But hello, Crystal. Welcome, dear. I did drop the link in chat for anybody who would like to join us on the panel. You are more than welcome. So it's, I know it's a crazy topic. I know a lot of videos are being taken down. And the people that are, using those words, we all got emails. I mean, at least I know I got an email talking about how they were going to take them down. So, no, we are not. We are not. We are in a stay-at-home order as of right now. So you say, okay, so here, let me pull this up so that everybody knows what we're talking about. Are you in lockdown? We started last night. Now, Rebecca is 5 hours away from me, I think. And so she's in Minnesota. And so, we haven't gotten that order. We just safe at home order. That's what it's called. Tommy said, hello, honey. Welcome. The Bargain Effect, Tommy 2.0 is in the house. But yeah, this is what we have at this point. We do have a no burn thing, which happens every spring. where, I mean, you can have a campfire, but not a real high one. And they just don't want you to burn brush and your leaves and stuff like that. Well, right down the road from us, a house started on fire last night. So, yeah, they weren't home. From what I understand, they were there earlier in the day, and then they left, and their house caught on fire last night. So I don't know what that's all about. I mean, it's literally right down the road from us. So
Did they save it? Were they able to save the home?
by the time, well, the last message on the scanner page, they said by the time the fire department got there, it was 1/3 engulfed. Yep. So I don't think the house was salvageable. They ended up having to call for mutual aid from the next town over, and I don't know what happened after that because they don't usually update on that. So I sent out prayers to the family. Hopefully it wasn't anything that they weren't supposed to be doing that caused it. But at this point, I hope that, nobody was injured because we don't know. They don't update. So Tommy says, safe at home is not a lockdown order. It's more of an advisory than an order. Okay.
Yeah, I actually had to go to work yesterday for a couple of hours, and no one said anything to me. Nobody. There wasn't anything I could help.
Oh, wow. And that's the thing. A lot of people are not working right now. And, I'm hoping that everything returns back to normal really soon because, this is just crazy, going to the grocery store and like our town. Okay. So our town, it's a little town. It's like normal. I mean, it's like every day. I mean, there's a little bit more activity now than there was before, but everything seems normal. But we don't have any cases here in our county.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing at this point, but I'm hoping for a good thing, but it could be a bad thing as well. We don't know. So as of right now,
we want to keep small businesses open. We don't want them to go under. And I run a small business for my boss, and bills have to be paid.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I have to go up there and get the mail to find out if any checks need to be written because we don't want our accounts to go bad.
Right.
Not everything we do is paid online. So I had to go in yesterday and get the mail and sort through it. And, things like that I can't do from home. I have to have my hands on the actual things.
Right.
So, my wife wasn't real happy about me leaving, but I was like, I'm by myself. So it's not like I'm going to spread it to anybody by coming into my office. I just have to keep this business afloat,
Right. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and there's not really much you can do because you have to do it. But at the same time, we got to keep ourselves, safe and whatever, we need to do it. Me and Joey went to the grocery store the other day, and we walked in and we were literally getting yelled at, or maybe it was Jasmine. One of the kids was with me. Now I can't remember which one was, because one went with me one day, one went with me the other day. And so we both times, people were freaking out because people were out and about. And it's like, it's just crazy.
Well, like our CVSs here are putting tables in front of the registers so that you are separated 6 feet. And our HEBs, our grocery stores, are putting plastic shields between the cashier and the customer.
Oh, wow.
Although if you pay in cash, you have to put your hand over the shield. But most people pay with a card. So they're doing things like that to force the distancing.
Yeah, I carry this with me. because Tommy and I are both, well, Tommy's more, I believe, high risk than I am. We haven't, with me not having a spleen, I don't know how this would affect me per se with what's going on, but I know Tommy has a very, very, very much compromised immune system. And so, I'm really glad that right now, during all of this, I'm really glad that we live in an area that we don't have to worry about it at this point. So that's a little bit of stress off of us. But at the same time, you have to be prepared. You have to be smart about the whole thing, and when we went to the grocery store, pushed the cart, got where we needed to go, went through the line. And as soon as we were done with our shopping and stuff, right in line, we put the groceries in the cart and I pulled this out and I made it was Joey that went with me the one day. I made him put this on his hands. I put it on my hands just to be on the safe side, and then our poor post lady, like I was saying before, you're only allowed to have 2 people in our post office at a time in the main lobby. Wow. Dealing with or when you bring your packages and stuff. And there's a piece of tape on the floor, and then there's another piece of tape over here. So there's only 2 people out in at a time, and our poor post lady, people are going up past that tape, and she's asking them to step back, and they're like, "Oh, that's not for me." It's for everybody, We don't know who people will be in contact with. So, I was talking with her yesterday, and I always, I'm always step back a little bit. I always have been. That's just how I am. And so, she was telling me this, and I'm like, wow. And I came home and I told Tommy, and Tommy was like, well, she should have refused to do anything, because they're not following what the rules are. And it's clear. They have notes, these big signs everywhere. And so I don't know. It's crazy. Hello, Marie. Welcome.
Hi, Marie.
Wasn't paying attention to chat, and I apologize.
Marie, if you don't mind, can you message me or put in chat what your accountability stickers are for? I've looked and I can't figure that out. It's driving me crazy.
So Rebecca says they can leave for medical or food, and that her hubby's wow, a tongue twister there. Her hubby's place of work closed indefinitely. Crystal says us 2 on lockdown since 3/15. Even medical places are closed and only allow online visits. I wonder how that works.
I was able to take my dogs to the vet the other day, but they came out to the car to get the dogs.
Yeah, I heard somebody else talking about that too, that they were, they had to wait in the car while their animals were looked at and stuff like that.
And my wife has a doctor's appointment next week. Our medical places are not closed.
A lot of ours are. But I think it's because, I don't know, I think it's because they travel, like our doctors and stuff that come here travel.
My counseling session last week was done via Zoom, and I liked it because I didn't have to drive all the way out there. So it was time saving for me.
Right. Too bad you couldn't do it. It's not like telecom or something like that where you see them through the screen. Is that how you're talking about?
We just use Zoom, but years ago when I couldn't drive out to her for some certain reasons, I remember we used to do it on the telephone. But it is better face-to-face, at least on Zoom, because you can see, facial reactions, and I talk with my hands, so it was better. So, and usually I bring a check and I got to pay by credit card, and I'm like, well, can I just do this from now on? Just do Zoom counseling sessions.
Oops. I am horrible with these hashtags. I'm trying to share this on Twitter, and I am so.
Sonia, did you put the CV word in your title?
I did not.
No, I'm talking about Sonia. She said she was kicked out of her live.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Mental health. Hashtag mental health.
Okay, so Marie, no one knows. Okay, so then I can just calm down now because I have just felt like an idiot going, yay, Marie, day 27, but it's like, I don't know what I'm saying yay for. So just know, dear, that I'll support you, whatever it is.
Okay. Everybody, okay. Real quick, let me kind of jump through the chat real quick. Everyone should be trying to support small businesses. The big corporate places will be fine. It's the small businesses that will struggle right now. Yes, for sure. For sure. Oops. Hello, Sonia, by the way. Sorry, my StreamYard chat's going like crazy on me here, so let me go over here. So I won't be able to pull anybody's comment up. But let me try to catch up here in chat. I was trying to share on Twitter, and well, not so good with the hashtags. I'm still learning those hashtag things. Not good at that.
I got kicked off of Twitter.
You got kicked off of Twitter?
Yeah, and now, I got kicked off of Twitter because I think it's Poshmark. It kept telling me to share on Twitter every time I list something, and Twitter kicked me off for spamming. And I've been off Twitter for like 2 years now.
Oh, wow.
And they keep saying, we want you back. We want you back. And I'm like, well, you kicked me off. So.
Wow. Twitter, sassy. Let's see, where was I?
Okay, Marie, I don't think I'm on Justin's feed. I probably need to go into Instagram and make sure. I don't think I've got Justin on my Instagram.
Oh, okay. So Marie says it's driving everyone crazy. We will let you know all in due time. Yeah. If you said any of the keywords that YouTube at this point is, from what I'm understanding, from what I read, of what's going on in the world right now, your streams get cut and your videos will be taken down. I know a couple people whose videos have been taken down because of it. So that's why those words are not allowed here.
So you can't even talk about it. You can't use it when you're speaking either.
Right.
Okay. Because I'm thinking about going live Monday. I haven't been live in like 6 weeks. I'm still, you and Heather and I talked about that last week about how my anxiety is causing a lot of issues. And I was thinking, I'm glad that I know that now, not to say that word if I do go live.
Yeah, there's a couple words. I'll see if I can find it. I hope I didn't delete it because I read it and I didn't think anything of it, of like sharing it or anything. But
it's amazing how they can find that out, how they've got bots or whatever that can spot that verbally, that you've said it, not that it's just in your title. I thought you meant just in your title.
No, the words in general. Let's see. It works great. We have some of the most advanced medical technology here. We had online visits here for years. I actually prefer. Yeah, see, so when I saw my psychologist, we did telecom, which is where I go into the office and then he would be on the other side of a screen. And so I loved it. I only saw him physically twice in like this 5 years that I had him as a psychologist. Let's see. Oops. Today's numbers for. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Sonia, from what I understand, and the message I got in StreamYard is they're having difficulties with everybody who is at home trying to go live all at the same time. I don't think their servers was anticipating this. And so they're having a lot of difficulties running both of them on both of those streams, like YouTube and Facebook and stuff. So maybe try just running it on one or the other and not both of them. I didn't pay for StreamYard, so I get the 20 free as of right now, the 20 hours free as of right now. And so I would just try one or the other. I don't know if I would ever want to dual stream like that, to be honest. I think it's too much for me personally, but that's just me. Maybe it'll change later on in the future.
I hope you can hear my stomach growling.
I thought it was a cat.
Did you really? Could you hear it?
Yeah. I thought it was a cat.
Well, I haven't eaten today because last night we cheated and we ate this huge Mexican meal that we ordered and we just overate. And so I've been trying not to eat anything. I'm having my V8 though.
Oh, that looks really good.
But
that looks really good.
I'm just like really hungry. Thanks a lot, Crystal. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute myself.
Came up with an error and said that there was a copyright problem. Huh. That's interesting. Very interesting. Were you playing any music or anything, Sonia? I doubt it, but maybe it was a glitch. It could have been a glitch because there is so much glitching going on at this time.
Did you try to get back on?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. You read my mind.
I need to go to my salon and it's closed.
Oh, I saw a meme on
Facebook. Can't see.
And
my roots are super gray. Look at that. And here's all gray.
I didn't notice, honestly.
And I have dibs on the very first appointment when she reopens. She's already told me I get the very first appointment because it's so bad.
My beautician is sitting right here in this chair. I do my own hair. I don't cut my own hair. Tommy usually cuts my hair for me. He trims it. But if I really am like done, just want it all gone, chopped short, I usually go into the salon. But that's once every like 3 years or so that I'll get it cut real short and then let it grow out. And then I re-dye it repeatedly and then have to go back in 3 years and get it cut again. Otherwise, Tommy keeps it trimmed for me. All right. Hello, Maggie Doodle. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Wendy. Welcome. Okay, so I'm reading what Rebecca said. Mine too, Beth. When the kids would leave the house, I would drill them on who they were with and where they went. How do we know that it's safe when the whole world is falling apart? Rebecca, I told you how to handle that situation or what I would do in that situation. I didn't tell you what to do. I just gave you what I would do in that situation, my dear. You know, they're adults. They're going to do what they're going to do. But if they want to be able to stay with you, you got to put your foot down. Can't let them walk all over you like that.
I want to know if any one of you in your communities are doing the bears in the windows.
The what?
The bears in the windows, because some communities are having people put bears in their windows and then they drive their kids around and count the bears. And I want to do that because I have like 75 plushed animals in my store for sale. And I would love to put them in the front windows of my house. I think that would be so fun.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one. So obviously our
Yeah.
community is not doing it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I hear kids outside yelling right now. It was my first time, so I was a little confused. Normally, I just do StreamYard with YouTube, but that does make sense. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Kelly. Welcome, welcome. Flippin' Mama's in the house. You are not going to get kicked off of my stream for your stomach growling, Beth.
She's never going to invite me back.
Tommy? Have you seen me live with Tommy?
She's never going to invite me back.
Yes, I will. You're always welcome. Always welcome. But yeah, I saw a meme, and now I can't think. Now I can't remember what I was gonna say about it because you had made a comment, and I was gonna. Oh, it was about the hair thing. Okay, so one meme I saw was because all the beauty shops are all closed, do not cut your own bangs. And it had this person sitting with a pair of scissors, and their bangs were like all like this, like they were. And then another one I saw, and I don't remember if it was a meme or it was just a statement. In a couple weeks, we'll find out what everybody's real hair color is. Not me. Mine's red. Mine's a darker red, but the older I get, the more gray it gets. So
yeah, this was last week before we had the shutdown or whatever, stay at home. But they had one where the guy's hair was all, it looked like a French poodle, and he said, when your salon is closed, but your dog groomers are open. Oh, and his hair looked like a French poodle.
Yeah, we had to cut our son's hair this week. I cut my son's hair this week because he looked like a shaggy dog. I love you, Joey. I know you're watching, but yeah, he had that grunge look, and it was gross, and it was like a grunge / Gator Boy look. And it would have been all right if he would have taken care of it, but because he just let it go wild and didn't take care of it, I can hear him downstairs, I think. I was like, nope, because you don't want to take care of it. Guess what? I took the clippers and I buzzed him bald. Well, he's got a little bit of hair, but I buzzed it. Nope, I don't do that look in this house unless you're going to take care of it. I wouldn't have minded the skater boy look. I had no issues with that. But when it became a grunge, icky look, I was done. I was done. And he's got naturally curly hair. So the longer his hair gets, the curlier it gets. And so, yeah. I was like, done. Nope, done. I need a haircut, then layered. What is the Brazilian blowout? Maybe I don't want to know. That doesn't sound very good. And a color. Not going to happen anytime soon. Hello, No Money G. Welcome. Let's see. Okay, so Marie says our Easter decorations, Beth, in the window. I don't know if you saw that or not. I don't know if missed people.
Bears.
Okay. All right. We are doing words on the windows here for people that can't go out, like the elderly. They put words like water or food on the window, and people leave donations at their door. Oh, now that's cool. That's pretty cool.
You're keeping up the chat really well today.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. Sonia says, I wish my son would let me do that to his hair. It's getting longer and longer and looks like a mom. My son had no choice. I made him sit down, and we gave him so they were with their aunt and uncle for 2 weeks. They came back, and his hair just was driving me nuts. But me and Tommy gave him a couple days. I think it was like 3 days. Was it 3 days, Tommy? I think you're still in the chat, right? I think it was 3 days we gave him to take care of it while he was home, after he got home. He didn't want to take care of it. So I made his butt sit down in a chair and I buzzed it. He had no choice in the matter. And he was not happy with me, but I didn't care. I gave him, I believe, 3 days to brush it, do something with it. Mm-hmm. If he wanted to keep it, he didn't want to do it. So
you followed through.
I sure did.
You were consistent. That's what it takes.
And I'm learning how to follow through with what I say with the kids. Sometimes it's really hard, but majority of the time, I'm getting better, I should say. And so, yeah, I don't think he thought I was going to do it, but I made him sit down and I did it. Mm-hmm. And Tommy was like, you made it longer than I would have. He's like, I would have put the number 1 guard on and gone to town. I think I gave it like a 2 or 3 number guard, but I was done. I was done with it drove me nuts. It was like, it triggered my anxiety, and it, like, my mind was just like, you know, it just drove me nuts. It did. And I don't know how many other people out there, certain things will set my anxiety off. And that just happened to be one of them. Mm-hmm. Our daughter is no angel either. You know, we have to keep reminding her 3-4 times a day. She's got long hair, but she also has where it's shaved here, which mm-hmm. to get redone because she has psoriasis. And so the doctor was telling us one of the ways to keep it as under control as possible without making her have short hair, because for a long time she had really short hair and she looked like a boy. There was too many times that we would go to walk into a store, she would hold the door open and they would say, "Thank you, sir." And I'm like, she's a girl. So I was like, well, what can we do to help with her psoriasis so that people know she's a girl instead of a boy? Although I'm sure she didn't mind because she is a little tomboy. So we were given that idea, and that's the hairstyle that she's been rocking. And it's longer now, so it's got to get trimmed up. But when her hair is pulled up, you can see that it's shaved and she still looks like a girl. When it's down, you can't see it. And it's actually helped with psoriasis. And she also has alopecia, like Tommy. Mm-hmm. Tommy's got alopecia. Jasmine has alopecia. For most people, that's where you have patches of hair that falls out, or there's a couple different forms of alopecia, and there's the other form that I know of is where you have absolutely no hair on your body. We actually know somebody who at our campground that had alopecia where she had no hair on her body and she had to wear a wig and paint her eyebrows on and stuff like that. She was a very sweet older lady. She really was. But Jasmine, hers was triggered by being burned with bacon grease. And so she has areas on her head and stuff where the hair will just randomly fall out for no reason. And it's alopecia. So this has helped a lot. Big time.
My wife's hair fell out one time when she was on a stressful job and she had to go in and have needles put in her scalp.
Ooh.
3 different treatments, but her hair grew back, but it was really gross. It was awful because her hair is like her favorite thing. It's really the only thing she likes about her looks. When it started falling out, she was just a wreck. And she quit the job. So.
If a job is triggering you that much stress to where your hair's falling out, yeah, I think it's definitely time to move on to a different job.
She did, but in the meantime, she did have to have the treatments because it wasn't growing back. So.
Oh, yeah.
But it worked. But I'm sure, I mean, I can't imagine. I think it was like 30 needles each visit. I'm needle shy, so.
Sonia says Jacob brushes and washes his, but there's just no style to it. He just looks like a scruff. Have him pull it back or something. Like, I don't. Yeah, sometimes there's no style, sometimes there's style. My son just looked like grungy. He looked really dirty. His hair looked really dirty all the time, and it was driving me nuts. And yes, I am putting my son out there. Maybe it'll get through his head that he needs to start taking care of his hair. Maybe when you speak something out, sometimes it helps. How about?
I mean, is he like that when he does get to go out? Does he take care of his hair, or is it just because he's like stay-at-home order? So he just figures like it doesn't really matter.
He's lazy.
He does that even when he's not on stay-at-home order.
Yeah, he's 14. He's 14. He's a teen.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him to take care of himself. And I mean, literally for years, we have been trying to get him to do what he needs to do to be functional, to be productive.
How did it go when they were with your family? How was their visit? Was it good?
Yeah, their visit was good. They had they went to the skating roller rink in Aunt's town for their birthday party, and they got to see their cousins, spend a lot of time with them, so it was pretty good. So yeah, it was crazy. It was nice for us too, but then we weren't feeling good almost the whole time that they were gone, and so we didn't get as much done as we wanted to get done, but we got a lot more done when they were there than when they were here, unfortunately. Not that I don't love my children, but sometimes they can be real pains in the booty. What's going on, Kelly? She says, my anxiety is through the frigging roof right now.
It's all those daggum toys you bought, Kelly.
Uh-oh.
You were okay yesterday, I thought. You need to hit me up today, girl. I'm working all day.
Crystal says, yes, me too. My OCD is a bit out of control. Now, is this about the hair comment that I asked? I'm a little behind in chat, trying to catch up. Yeah, it was like, I don't know. My son tends to trigger my anxiety pretty bad because of his behaviors. And this time it happened to be because of his hair, not taking care of his hair, which is, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it really, like, I don't know how to explain why it affected me so bad. It just did. It really did. Crystal says, my son has super long purple hair and people call him a girl all the time. He loves to tell people, why are you assuming my gender? I love it. Oh, I love it. Jaslyn wants pink hair. She would like her hair to be pink. And Jaslyn, did you want purple streaks in your pink hair?
No, blue streaks.
Oh, blue streaks. Okay. So she wants blue streaks in her pink hair. And I really am at this point very skeptical on doing the pink and the blue streaks because that would involve having to take the color out of her hair so it stands out. Because we tried pink before and it just turned red. It turned like a strawberry blonde type color because she does have a lot lighter hair than I do. It's like a dirty dishwater blonde. And so in the sun, it's got the red shimmer to it. But all in all, it's more a dirty dishwater blonde, and it's starting to darken up. And so I really am not comfortable. She's 12, and I really don't want to have to strip the color out of her hair at her age. Like I said, we did try the pink. It didn't turn out the color that it was supposed to. And so we might have to wait a couple of years. When she turns 16, I don't care what she does with her hair. That's how it was in my house growing up. She does have makeup, but she has light color makeup at home here. I gave her all my light colors that I have. I wasn't allowed to wear makeup until I was 16, and it was only eyeliner and mascara. I'm a little bit more lenient because she doesn't gob it on her face. So when she puts the colors on, she's actually way better with makeup than I am, and that's very sad because I'm much older. But I don't wear a lot of makeup, so my anxiety is really high too at the moment for finding myself not sleeping and eating properly. Gave myself a kick up the butt today. Yes, you need to eat, Sonia. You need to take care of yourself. You're not, what's going on right now outside of in our world. Don't let it make you not be able to sleep or eat. You got to be healthy. You got to keep yourself healthy and strong to be able to get through this. If you ever need to talk, you have my information. Get a hold of me, dear. All right. That goes for everybody. Everybody here pretty much knows how to get a hold of me. It's down in the description below as well. If you need to talk, I'm here. This week's been a little crazy. I rearranged and get to rearrange again as soon as our buddy Doug gets here. Tommy and I are exchanging a couple items. Well, one big item that I have up here. My display case is actually going to go downstairs, and his drafting table is actually going to come up here. And so it's smaller. I'll be able to not be so closed in my area. And so I was trying to make it more of a flow, but it kind of backfired on me. And then I was down for a couple days because I could barely move. I mean, I was to the point where my legs were swollen and my feet were purple with my toenails purple. And I don't know what I did because all I did was move a few things. The kids did most of the moving for me, so I didn't have to lift a bunch of stuff. My kids are very strong, very strong. And so not me so much. My wrist and my ankles, or my wrist and my feet are done. So but yeah, I don't know what happened. It actually got scary because I thought I was gonna have to go in because it hurt so bad and I was so swollen. And my toenails, I mean literally my toenails were purple. And I don't know. So now that we have it all done, I just have to get that moved, which I'm not allowed to touch at all, thank God, because that thing is heavy. And then I'm going to move this out, and it'll be a little bit more open, more of a flow. Because Tommy came up and he's like, you do realize there's no flow here. And I'm like, I noticed that afterwards. I just didn't get it done, and I didn't care at the time, so I was hurting. And so although my kids and I've learned through the years that me and my kids do not work very well together when they disappear on me in the middle of every time we turn around to move something. I love my kids. I really do. They're pains, but they're my pains. So, and then I get to vent about them here. All right, let's see. My son turns around and says to people, do I sound like I'm a girl? Often have to remind him not to be so rude. Yeah, see, your son sounds like my daughter because my daughter doesn't have a filter. I blame Tommy. Yeah, and then the Irish, that doesn't help either. But yeah, she's very blunt with people. She'll tell you straightforward how it is. There are times where she gets a little cutthroat, and I'm like, hey, you're 12. You need to know respect. Calm down. You'll be okay. Let's woosah. But there is a fine line between being rude and just telling it how it is. And sometimes kids have to learn that fine line. When you say, Beth?
Yeah, definitely. Neither one of my kids were like that, thank goodness. But
all right, hold on. Oh no. My chat went crazy. Sorry. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, Crystal. I understand. She said, no, the hair doesn't bother me. It's just because of everything going on outside. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, it's crazy how things have been hyped up, how things have been exaggerated. So, for the most part, I mean, if you guys need to talk, like I said, hit me up. We can talk behind the scenes and stuff and go from there. But like I know Tommy's channel is a talk freeze zone or outside world talk freeze zone on what's going on at the moment. I wasn't really planning on talking about the situation that's going on, but I know that it's pretty high and for anxiety and depression and stuff like that. And so just remember that my Saturday show, my Saturday lives, if you need any of us during the week, we're all here. That's what we're here for. You don't have to wait until now during the show to reach out and vent and stuff like that. Usually I fall asleep early, and I know Misha has been trying to get a hold of me, and she got a hold of me just before my live, and so I'm going to call her back. I keep missing it because I've been falling asleep, and when I fall asleep, I'm kind of dead to the world, so I don't hear nothing. And so I felt so horrible that I missed her calls. So I apologize, Misha. I still love you. Much love. So I'll get back a hold of her after everything here. Let's see. My anxiety is a bit high right now too, but it's to be expected. I feel at the same time at this point in time. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you guys need to private chat too, hit me up as well. I'm sure Beth wouldn't mind.
no problem.
That's what we're here for. We have our stuff that we have going on, but we're also here for you too. And so, everybody that's been on my
and helping others helps you too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There are things that I had to call my mom this week because I needed to vent, and it's coming up on my 1-year anniversary with my spleen, and I still at this point have no idea why I'm still here. Still at this point, I have no idea. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I understand I'm doing this with the mental health stuff, you know, getting it out there, being there for people, people being there for me. But I feel like it's not enough. Like it's not the full picture, and it's driving me nuts. Does that make sense? I
Yeah,
mean,
but you're also there for your kids and your husband or your
yeah,
significant other. You're there for them.
yeah. It's just
So
and I get into these moments where, like, my anxiety and my depression and all that, it kicks in, my PTSD, it kicks in so bad. And it's like, I wish, and I've talked about this before, it's not as bad now as it was before, where I wish it would have just taken me so I didn't have to deal with the stuff that was going on that was triggering it so badly. And I am not, I think the medication that they put me on is not helping at all anymore. I think because it was giving me the suicidal dreams, and it was like a quantum leap type suicide dreams. Like it was jumping from one way to another way to another way to another way. I don't like that. And I'm not, before, you know, I wasn't somebody who was like, oh, I think about it all the time. I think they call it suicidal ideation. And I feel like this medication triggered it in me. And not that I would ever hurt myself or do anything stupid like that. And I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm just talking about me personally. This is how I feel about myself. I would never do anything to myself like that. But sometimes, you know, I'm starting to understand that sometimes that feeling isn't something that you can control. Does that make sense?
yeah, sounds like you need to change medications.
Yeah, exactly. And now with all this stuff that's going on, it's like I gotta figure out what I can do. I was supposed to go back in, and they called and rescheduled, or they said they would reschedule, but then all this happened. What's going on? So I don't know. I'm gonna have to call again and find out, see if I can get in touch with somebody.
Yeah, that type of medical issue you should be able to do virtually.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I mean,
they're not going to have to be poking and prodding you and all that kind of stuff.
right.
They just need to talk to you face to face.
Yeah, and that's
So that,
hopefully, fingers
yeah.
crossed, you know. So I mean, I never had that before, so I don't know, like, even.
Well, that tells you something right there. If you've never had it before,
Yeah,
then
the medication is not okay, you know. And for a long time, I felt like I had failed by going and turning to medication. But at first, I mean, it helped. I couldn't believe how great I felt, how different everything was around me. And then I was on it for a couple months, and then all of a sudden the switch just flipped, and I'm just like, what in the world is going on? Let's hope this isn't permanent. You know, and I understand that way of thinking, because I've actually I'm there, you know. When people would talk about it, I was like, okay, I don't understand what you mean. I've never experienced it. And now it's something that I've experienced and I'm experiencing, and it's not a cool thing to experience. So now I can relate more than, you know, when somebody's talking about it than I could before. And so,
and it makes sense too, because it takes some time for that medication to build up in your system. Yeah. So then once it's really, really built up, that's when you really start getting those symptoms.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So probably 99.9% chance that it is the medication. It's just built up in your system now.
Yeah. So
and it's not, you're starting to see the side effects.
Yeah, and I don't like this side effect. I love everything about the medication except for this particular part of it. You know, I would take it at night because during the day it makes me too tired. I mean, even still, it makes me too tired. And so, so I would take it at night, which would trigger the quantum leap dreams, and then it's I don't know. I don't like it. I don't, and that's the only part. Like I said, that's the only part I don't like about it. If I could get a medication that works just like this medication, but has that part of it removed, game on. Let's go. You know.
Do they have you on the lowest dose?
Yeah.
Okay. I was say they could lower the dose, but
I'm on the lowest dose. Yep. She kept me on the lowest dose. Yeah, she kept me on the lowest dose because it was working. It was doing pretty good. And then all of a sudden, bam. I was just like out of nowhere, it just hit. And I'm just like, interesting. When he says my anxiety is a bit high right now too, but okay, so I did read that one. I apologize. I love those zebra pins. Oh, is that why you're holding up the pen? I am kind. So
yeah, she gave me these really neat pens. I didn't think I was gonna like them at first because they're real thin and I can't really feel much with my hands because of my psoriasis, but they write really nicely.
Oh, that's awesome.
I like a good pen.
So, yeah.
Savvy, Shamrock, and the Resilient Rowboat. Okay.
Thank you, Kelly. I think. I don't know. Is that good or bad? Hello, Craig. Welcome. Hello, Cliff. Welcome, welcome. I think everyone's anxiety is high right now. Yes, it is. Tommy would look great in pink and blue strip. His hair is way too dark for those two colors. Although I'm trying to get him to try on my blonde wig I have. Like I have one of those cosplay really long white. I mean, it's like white wigs. And then I could probably do some pink and purple and blue streaks in that. But it's really, really long. I look really funny in it. Because I've tried it on. My green wig, however, I did figure out how I can wear that with my hair the length that it is. But sometimes it's still kind of a pain. Wigs are not as easy as what they make it look like in the videos that you see when they're putting them on. They're not as easy as that. I wish it could be 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I had to switch chairs and I'm still sore yet, so I'm moving around a lot, so I apologize. And that was Craig's little comment. You would have to bleach it, and then pink is hard to keep up, color it all the time. Yeah, and that's the thing with Jasmine's hair. I don't want to have to keep, I don't want to do the bleach part of it. It's just, I don't want her hair to be damaged before, so young.
Yeah.
I don't. Peroxide water and sun will lighten it. Yeah, her hair does get lighter in the summertime because she loves being outside, but she's got more of a red shimmer during the summer than she does the winter. And then, I don't know, Tommy, is that the combination that you were talking about with her hair that we could possibly try was the peroxide water with the sun?
That's what Sun-In has in it.
Is it? You see, I never used Sun-In. I've heard of it, but I never used it.
When I was about 15, I had to go to this meeting and I used Sun-In all the time, but you can also, instead of just putting it in when you're outside in the sun, you can do it with a blow dryer.
Oh,
So I sprayed my hair down and I blow dried it. And I looked in the mirror and I'm like, that's not light enough. So I wet my hair, sprayed it again, blow dried it. That's not light enough. I did it like 5 times. I was like 15 or 16 years old. And when I to go into effect, and when I went to that meeting, my hair was just like almost white. And everybody was just like, what did you do to your hair? And I didn't realize that it did that. And oh God, it was so embarrassing.
I've bleached my hair to get color out. And I had like different colors. Like you could see where my fresh roots were, where, you know, I was able to take out most of the color, but not all the color. And then down here, it was like, it didn't touch it. Like the bleaching didn't touch it. And I 12 hours worth of bleaching. Surprised my hair did not fall out. It was, and Tommy was like, the house stinks. And I'm like, go downstairs. It doesn't stink down there. It's going to come downstairs. I'm like, you'll be fine. It'll be all right. Him and his dungeon. So, yeah.
Yeah, Cliff, it does do that to your hair. It does make your hair feel really coarse.
I notice when I dye my hair, I try not to do it. Okay, I can't lie. I try to dye my hair as much as I can because I don't like, so I have a white streak that, gotta get on this side, that shows, that appears here. Okay. It's colored right now, but it won't stay colored for long. And I don't like it because it was, oops. Let me figure out how my hair just went. I don't like this backwards thing here. It triggers my PTSD on how I ended up with it. And so that's why I dye my hair. As soon as I start seeing it, I get the itch to try to dye my hair. And it's crazy. Oh, hold on one second. Let me catch up real quick. I did drop the link once again if anybody would like to join us. We are on episode 13 of Mental Health Live Chat with an open panel. So I want to make sure I get that. I want to make sure that I welcomed everybody in. So let me figure out where I'm at here in chat. Let's see. Sonny says it must be a boy thing. I found the same with Jacob. Have to constantly remind him to have a shower because he stinks. Boys, young teenage boys, holy cow. I don't know what's going on with their body chemistry. Man.
8-year-old boys too.
My son's 14, and for the last 4 years.
Starts about 8.
Yeah, well, about 10 for him. About 10, maybe even younger. Maybe it was 8. I don't know. But when he comes up and he tries to give me a hug, which is also a work in progress, something that he never always did. It's like, honey, I love you, but can you go put some deodorant on? And he's like, oh, no. And he'll do this. He'll go. And he'll slowly back away. It's like, I'll be right back. I'm like, because it's like they get immune to their own smell. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and deodorant doesn't really do that much. They need to take a shower. I mean, when I taught, I'd have a whole room of 8, 9-year-old boys, especially after coming off the playground. Oh, God. It's overpowering. Used to go around my classroom and just spray Lysol everywhere. And I used to do the Christie trick. Do you know what the Christie trick is?
No.
There's a movie called Christie when she was back in the old days, and she was a school teacher. She would take a handkerchief and she would spray perfume in it, and then because the children smelled so bad, and then she would put that over her nose all the time and just inhaled the perfume from her handkerchief. And I used to do that sometimes too.
Wow, that's crazy. I
mean, I could do a whole series of shows on things that have happened in my classrooms over the years.
I see. Okay, so this is funny. So we would tell Joey. I'm like throwing Joey under the bus today. Sorry there, but I have to because it's part of my anxiety problem. Not that he is my anxiety. It just kind of some of the things that he does triggers my anxiety. But he would. Okay, so I've had sinus surgery. I had to remove a polyp last year. Like last year was a horrible year for me. I had
really
the polyp they had to remove. I had the lacerations to the cornea due to our cat, and then my spleen
I remember that.
Like all within like a 3 or 4 month time period. Like all this stuff would happen, and all of a sudden, so my sinuses since the surgery have been super sensitive. My son's idea of cleaning his bedroom wasn't to sweep and mop, wasn't to, put Febreze on his bed. It was to spray his body spray so thick that it would come down the stairs and choke us out. And holy cow, I am telling you, like, we would send them upstairs to make, because their bedrooms are upstairs, and then we're on the main floor, and then Tommy's dungeon is down in the basement. Okay, and then my printing area set up, my office, YouTube stuff is here, on the main floor. And there's 2 vents, 2 grates, and one in each room for the heat to go up. It's an old house, so they don't have like the traditional heating vent. All the heating ducts are on the main floor, and it just rises up. So through the little grate in his room, it would filter down so thick that we literally had to, finally, it was like, you know what? Bring your body spray downstairs. He's like, oh, it smells great. I'm like, yeah, okay, can't breathe, have to step outside. We literally took it away from him. It is hidden in our room, so he can't do that no more. He wants his body spray. Like if we're going to go out somewhere nice, he jumps in the shower, we'll give him the body spray, but then we hide it. And it's got to be one spray because it is so, so strong. It's, I believe it's Old Spice, which I love the smell of Old Spice. It reminds me of my grandfather. But when it's to the point where you breathe and you can't breathe because of it, it's too much. It's way too much. So
My husband does that with fly spray.
What's that?
My husband does that with fly spray.
Oh,
we all evacuate outside. Like you don't need that much fly spray to kill flies.
Right?
My grandpa used to do that with high karate. Do you remember high karate? You're probably too young to remember high karate.
What is it?
Oh my God, it was a men's spray. It was a men's spray.
Oh, really?
And always the commercials, high karate. Yeah.
Tommy.
Oh my gosh, the commercials were hysterical.
Tommy might remember that. Okay, so.
Oh, you're saying Tommy's old?
Almost. Wait, hold on. Let me figure out how old he is.
Tommy, do you remember the high karate commercials?
He's 48. Going to be 49.
He may still be too young. Some of you might remember. I'm not going to ask. Well, maybe Maggie does. Maggie's around my age, I think.
Okay. Fiji. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Joey says the body spray is Fiji. Figi. Either way, it's way too strong for you to overpower the whole house when you're trying to make your room smell good, because it's not going to clean the room. It's just going to cover up the smell for a very short time. Tommy says he does remember the commercials. And Cliff says, did I say hello to Cliff? Hello, Cliff. If I did not, I apologize. My brain is going woo, 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 really fast. Coffee. He says, fun fact, Old Spice cologne works great against mosquitoes.
Oh. Must remember that one.
Hmm.
Okay. Like I gotta go over here because I don't have my glasses and this is acting silly. Hello, Heather. Hello, Dwayne. Heather, I sent
I'm not saying you're old, Maggie. I'm just saying you're about my age. I'm 58, so
Heather,
Maggie's in her 50s. That's all I'm going to say. Maggie's in her 50s.
women age like fine wine. Not so much for the men.
I'm starting to feel 58 now. Starting to feel it.
Although there are some men that do age very well, some don't. I am very lucky because Tommy's aging very well, and I'm pretty happy with that. But I have seen some friends of mine from school that aren't aging that well. No offense. They're probably gonna watch.
I know.
They're probably watching.
I know. I go to a reunion and I'm like, do I look like old? Oh my gosh.
I didn't get to go to my high school reunion last year because of me healing from my spleen and everything, and I was told I couldn't go near anybody. Da 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 da. You know that old lovely stuff. So I missed it, but I saw pictures, and I am telling you, I do not.
Lovely stuff.
Oh,
Heather.
hello, Heather.
Mute myself.
Hello.
So I didn't recognize a lot of the people I went to school with because they look so much older. And I'm
Well, and you know, some of these people were heavy drinkers, heavy smokers. You know,
yeah, it's crazy.
And Maggie, Maggie, I'm not directing it at this you, dear, but some of them had gained a lot of weight and then lost a lot of weight, and that also ages you in the face. I'm finding that with me right now. Like I did a whole video on that, how I've got this cavern right here now from losing weight.
Yeah.
I even talked to my dentist the other day about doing Botox, and I don't like a needle. Even talked about this. He said he wouldn't use Botox, so he would use something else. But this is driving me nuts right here. I mean, you could, you know, it's a cavern right there. You can run a river right through there, no problem.
That's one of my great fears about losing
I did a whole video on it.
Oh, you should drop the link to that video. I didn't get any notification on that.
I don't want to look like a melted candle.
Yeah, that's my, I'm okay. So I actually cried. Tommy and I both weighed ourselves when the kids were gone. I think it was like a week after they left because we were.
Bad idea.
Oh, was it horrible? Holy
I never do that. I don't even, when I go to the doctor, I don't even look because I'm so depressed.
Last time I was at the doctor, I weighed 150 something. I go and step on that scale. It says I'm 170 something. I'm like, whoa, where did all the weight come from? No, I don't like this. Not good.
I would go for that at this moment.
I'm not comfortable, and that's probably why I'm having feet issues and back issues, is because I gained some weight and the plates and screws and stuff in my feet are probably not very happy with me.
No, that's awful.
Yeah, so I got to figure out how to lose some of this weight.
Hey, when you figure it out, let me know because nothing has worked for me ever. Between the fibro and the antipsychotics, I put on weight really fast.
That could be why I gained weight too, is because of that medication.
Yeah, I've not been able to get it to drop, and it's awful. I hate it because I still exercise, and well, I didn't exercise for a long time because I had so much pain, but my fibro pain, I'm managing it now, so I exercise again. And
do y'all ever watch the show Sister Wives?
I have.
Yeah.
Who has?
I have.
You have, Heather? You know the wife Janelle, the one that's so overweight?
Mm-hmm.
Like she went to a trainer for like a year and a half and dieted and stuff, and her scale would not move.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder if she was on some kind of medication
Yeah.
that was keeping her, like she was doing everything the guy was telling her to do. And he kept saying, oh, don't look at the scale. Don't look at the scale. When you've been doing this for a year and a half and your scale's not moving. And, you know, and I feel so bad for her because I'm like, there must be something there that we don't know that's keeping that weight on.
No, I received in one of the, because I subscribe to weight loss channels to help me lose weight, give me some motivation, some ideas here. And there was an article, not, I don't know if it's true or not, but didn't she lose a bunch of weight
Who?
after all that?
Who?
The woman from Sister Wives.
Not that wife, a different wife.
Oh, a different,
But
okay.
not that one. That one's still really heavy.
Oh,
If I had Sister Wives, yeah, I would definitely have to be medicated for that.
Oh, yeah. I gained 40 pounds on Trazodone.
Oh,
40 pounds.
I've been taking Trazodone again. I don't know. Like I said, I have been on so many medications trying to manage my bipolar. I couldn't tell you what was what. You know, it's too hard to track it. I wasn't recording it as I went, and I've got, well, I've been on medications for 27 years for starting with antidepressants before they realized that I needed antipsychotics.
I need to learn how to now.
Oh, yeah, too late for me. I can't spell for nothing.
I had the opposite problem for years. I had an overactive thyroid where I just couldn't put weight on. So I would sit at 55 kilos, and then I hit 40 and started going through menopause, and now I'm 70 kilos.
Hey.
So, which I'm not happy about, but at least I'm not underweight.
But, you know, a lot of people, Sonia, they'll look at that and say, oh, I wish I had that problem. Well, no, it's still a problem. It's a problem.
Still a problem, yeah.
And people
It didn't
don't
matter what
understand
I
that. You know, they're like, well, I wish I had that problem. No.
And trying to buy clothes, like, to fit you when you're that thin is almost impossible.
My daughter's boyfriend, I am always like, you need to eat. Go to the fridge. Go find something to eat, because he's so thin, and he's 6.5 feet tall and at least 50 pounds underweight. And yeah, I just like, go eat some more. You have to be hungry.
Well, okay, so Jaslyn is 12, and I'm sure someday it'll catch up to her. But this girl is a bottomless pit. She eats and eats and eats and eats. And we can't figure out where it's going. The only thing that we can figure out is it's going to her feet because she has very big feet.
My kids are the same.
I know.
The feet grow and then the body catches up. Yeah.
I think she's in a size 8 shoe now, and she's only 12. She's taller than me, but that doesn't take much. And, and so, I mean, she ended up getting a brand new pair of shoes last week, I think it was, and they're size 8. I'm like, haha, you can't feel my shoes no more because your feet are too big. Neener. Although she still feels my clothes. That part, I mean, she's taller than me, but she still steals my clothes. She's like, oh, I didn't realize that was yours. I'm like, oh, yes, you did.
Well, my kids have no butt, but still try and pinch my clothes. Like, Jessica gets a hair tie and ties the side of it. I'm like, hang on, they're my pants. She's like, no, they're not. I'm like, lift your top up, and there's this big bulge here.
No,
like,
she does that to me.
Can I brag? Can I show you something? Can I brag on my weight loss?
Sure.
Ew.
Is it okay?
Yeah. I dropped a link in chat It's called Body Groove for anybody who's interested in it, and it's supposed to be a light workout for people who have a hard time working out normally.
You can see. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, hold on. Let me make you bigger.
But those are my pants.
Oh,
Good
wow.
for you.
Awesome.
Wow.
Wonderful.
So, see?
That is terrific.
That is awesome.
I'm not buying any more clothes right now until I lose what I want to lose.
That's really great.
That is awesome. Yeah, I used to be a size 4. And then I had a reaction to the depot shot and blew up within a week. I went from 115 pounds to almost 200 pounds in a week because I had an allergic reaction to the depot shot. And there was nothing the doctors could do because it was already in the system.
The depot shot gave me migraines.
Did it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to knock my back drop down.
But everybody knows that I have 3 children because I really sucked at birth control. So I'm like, hey, you blame me for being a crappy mother. You guys just showed up because,
I have 5.
You have 5 because you suck at birth control?
Oh, yeah, it does horrible things to me. Horrible things. It makes me feel sick. All the pill, and I ended up getting the thing in the arm, and it stuffed me up hormonally. And
my daughter, she's going through the whole birth control fight now. And Dwayne just got a vasectomy when Jeremy was a baby. And that took care of that. So,
yeah.
But, I was going to tell you, my oldest son, between the ages of 12 and 15, he grew half a foot. He put on 50 pounds, and he grew into a size 12 shoe. It was impossible to keep that kid clothed. So a lot of the high schools here, you don't go into the high school till sophomore year. And so he started his sophomore year in high school at 6 feet.
Whew. That's crazy.
And he's 6'2", is what he ended up being.
Oh, wow. See, Jasmine's right on track with what the doctor estimated. She was a preemie. She was born early, and she was really, really tiny. But then, I mean, she was on a Billy blanket and stuff like that because her liver wasn't working. And so by her first appointment, she had like tripled in length and size. And the doctor looked at me, and like we kept track for a couple months, and then he looked at me and said, I would not be surprised if your daughter is over 6 foot tall by the time she's done growing. So far, she is so on track. It is not even funny. I mean, she's 12 years old. She's taller than me, and her feet are humongous, and she's not growing. I mean, hasn't stopped growing. Like she's going through a growth spurt every month. And it's like, I can't keep up with your clothes. You're going to have to wear what you have. So she wears a lot of dresses, longer dresses, because, you can grow with that. Stretchy pants, leggings, or jeggings, or whatever you call it. We have a bunch of those for her because they will stretch with her when she grows. Yeah, her shirts, we make sure that we buy them a lot bigger so that she has them for a while to grow. And yeah, it's
my kids, my height. My youngest is 11, and he's probably about that much shorter than me, and he's a size 9 in men's shoes. And I'm 5'8.5". I'm not short. So they're going to tower over me.
Yeah, going to end up.
Wow.
I get teased about how big my feet are, but I always tell my wife if I didn't have big feet, I would fall over because I'm tall. So I have to have that down there, and Quit making fun of my feet.
And that helps balance us out. I have small feet. I am tiny.
I mean, I hate to compare myself to a dog, but when you get a puppy and they have big paws, you know you're going to have a big dog.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Say, cats, anything of that nature, when they have big paws, they're going to be big animals. I unfortunately have always been tiny, and I am 5 foot. My feet are size 5'6". I mean, I was cursed little. So now I get to have my kids grab everything that I can't reach.
I was just getting ready to say, because that's what I was always in the house. That was always my job growing up, was to get everything off the top cabinet, everything off the top shelf.
That's my oldest
My
son.
mother's 5'1", so.
You keep me around just because I can reach things. But
My dad is 6'2", so they stood like this.
that's Dwayne's parents. His mom's not even 5 feet, and his dad's over 6 feet. So Dwayne just hit the middle at 5
My
feet.
ex-husband, when they said you may kiss the bride, he took out a step stool in front of the church and stood on the step stool to kiss me.
Wow, that's funny. Yeah, that's probably going to happen with Tommy and I, because he literally has to bend down. He's way taller, and he's 8 inches, and 8 inches makes a big difference. 8 or 9. How tall are you, Tommy? I can't remember. I know you're way taller than me, and I know that he has to bend down to give me a kiss. That's why he kisses me on the forehead a lot of times. I love that, but my lips are here, not here.
Dwayne and I are right close in height. I'm 5'6", he's about 5'8", and so our son, our youngest Jeremy, I think he's supposed to make it to 5'10", and our daughter made it to 5'5", which was way bigger than what we taller than what she was only supposed to be 5'3" at the tallest, and so when she made it to 5'5", we were like, holy cow! But she said she was going to make it to 5'5". I didn't believe her, but she did.
My foster mum used to make me sit down on the bed when she was yelling at me because she was only 5 foot. So it would be face to face.
I should try that with my kids. Make them sit down while I yell at them. So
With the eye. Yeah.
Yep, I remember with my oldest son. He was the only one of my kids that I fought with. But yeah, him towering over me and me yelling at him. Yeah.
It's crazy. Did I say hello to Maggie Doodle? If not, hello, welcome. I just want to make sure. Hello, Dwayne. Did I miss anybody? Leticia, I did see Leticia. Hello, Leticia, welcome. Hello, Paul, welcome. I'm not sure if you're still here, but let me kind of rush through here real quick. Jersey Sound Chorus. Oh, I've never seen you before. Welcome.
I'm gonna go get some caffeine while you're doing that.
All right, sounds good. Let's see what. Oh, it's a choir. Awesome. I love music. Love choirs. I think somebody said. Oh, Maggie Doodle said that's the Jersey Sound Choir. Oh, okay. That was her. Maggie Doodle. Well, I subscribe. I love choirs. I love music. I've always been, growing up, I was always in choir of some sort, either in church or at school. I took music throughout my whole school career, high school career. So it was peaceful for me. So, oh, she's working on her other channel. Okay. I did say hi to Cliff. Hello again. I did that one. Trying to remember the commercial. Maggie Doodle says she's going to be 60 this year. Awesome. Her husband just turned 70, and people think he's younger than she is. Yeah. I have these things that I noticed on my face. Speaking of when we were talking about this, I have these like little creases here, and I have this, and I never had that before, but I've been smiling more, so so I get these weird lines, and yeah, I'm not used to them. It kind of looks funny to me, but not that I didn't smile or laugh before, but for a long time I didn't have that energy inside of me. And so it's coming back slowly. So hopefully they'll change my medicine and I won't have to worry about the other stuff that's coming with this medication that I'm on, and I'll be good. All right, let's see. Dwayne says I'm aging like sour grape juice. What?
I did read that before, and I cracked up laughing, but someone was talking about something serious. I'm like, I can't laugh now.
How old are your kids, Sonia?
23. I got two that are 23. They're not twins. One's a stepdaughter. They're 6 months apart. 15, 13, and 11. And I got two grandkids.
And I want grandkids, but I guess I put, the fear into my children too much, and told them, we were talking about birth control. I guess I just, did too good of a job of telling them, because I don't have any grandkids yet.
My kids better not make me grandma anytime soon. They're still minors. I will kick their heinies. Children. My children.
The same year I turned 40, the same year I became a grandma.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, I had my kids later. I was 26 and 27 when I had my children. So I'm really happy that it was a little bit later in life that I had them, or my later 20s when I had them. Although sometimes, I look and I see all my friends from school, and I see, people I went to school with, their kids are graduating, getting married, having children of their own. And I'm like, I don't know if I envy them or feel sorry for them.
My oldest son, I was 38 when my oldest son got married.
Wow.
I know, yeah. And he and his wife, so high school sweethearts, they've been together. And so that's where I'm like, okay, first kids. But nothing. Now it's gonna be even longer because my son lost his job. For the first time since he was 16, he's unemployed.
Well, my first two, like my oldest is mine to a different partner, and my second youngest is my husband's to a different partner. So there's 8 years difference between my oldest and then my third. So it was that was an adjustment.
I bet, yes.
And, being up all night and changing nappies and then doing it all again, and then having an 8-year-old going, that's my turn.
So I'm the only one here that has grandkids.
No, I've got two grandkids.
Okay. Makes me feel better.
So Tommy is 10 years older than his second brother and 20 years older than his little brother.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's a huge gap.
That every 10 years.
I would have died doing that.
So my ex-husband, his oldest sister was like 15 years older than him, and she was in the kitchen one day visiting, and she went in the kitchen and he went in there. He was like 5, and he went out and he asked his mother, "Who is that in the kitchen?" He's like, he didn't even know who it was, his sister,
Oh my.
age difference.
Last week my sister came on, which was awesome. She was only able to stay for a short time. But
I have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, my little sister was on, not my baby sister, but the middle sister.
Okay.
She was on, and until I was like 18, 19 years old, I was told that her and my brother Ryan were my cousins. And
not dysfunctional at all.
Yeah, growing up, my mom had no idea. Otherwise, my mom said, because I came back home when I was 18, 19. That's when I found out I had two sisters and a brother. I had no idea. And growing up, I always was like, I wish I had a sister. I grew up with two brothers. And let me tell you, I begged God for a sister and never got one. And come to find out, I had two. I just didn't know them as my sisters. They were cousins. And my mom, when I came home and told my mom, I was like, you failed to mention I had two sisters growing up this whole time. She's like, I thought you knew. And I'm like, newsflash, somebody forgot to give me the memo. Because I was told they were cousins. Because I remember the last time I saw my biological, I was probably 8 years old at that time. And my brother and sister, Tabitha and Ryan, were with. We were at a hotel, and I was told, point out blank, they were my cousins because I didn't know who they were. So I asked, and I was told that they were my cousins. And she went through a lot. My sister and my brother went through a whole lot, and she tells a little bit about her story from last week. She told her story a little bit. And if I would have known then, I would have, in a heartbeat, taken both of my brother and sister and taken care of them, because that's what family's supposed to do. And I had no idea the things that she struggled with and the things that they went through growing up. And do I feel guilty? Yes. Should I feel guilty? No. But I am the oldest. It is my job to take care of my brothers and sisters, to show a good example. And I wasn't able to do that. And I feel like I was robbed of that by being told they were my cousins. And I love my family. I feel like family is very important. And so now that, since the time I found out that I had two sisters and another brother, I look after them. They are, my sister Tabby came up when I got pregnant with my daughter. She was staying with me for 3 or 4 months. She came up, so me and her could get to know each other. This was in 2007, 2006, 2007. Joey was already born. And so she got to meet Joey, got to spend time with Joey. I just found out that, she's the reason why I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. And so, it was just, anytime they need me, I'm there. It doesn't matter. We and her talked last night. We talk more now than we have in the last few years so I'm 40. I found out at 18, 19. So whatever the math is for that, my brain doesn't want to give me that information at this moment because I'm horrible with math. But I am so blessed and so proud of the progress that my sister has gone through, and my brother. My brother Ryan, he's in school. If he hasn't graduated, I think he might have graduated. He's not on social media very often, so I lose track of where he's at in his schooling. And both of them have come so far that I am so proud. I am such a I'm a proud big sister of the accomplishments that they've overcome in life. And so maybe I shouldn't feel so guilty not being able to take them and, make sure they were okay, put them under my wing, protect them from things, because they've experienced more things than I ever have. but it's made them who they are today. And my sister's is her and her husband, Tabby and her husband, are actually almost done with their adopted course, however that goes, so they can adopt. I found out that they were in the system, and so now her, with everything that she's been through, she's conquered. Pretty much for the most part, she's conquered everything that she's gone through, and I'm so proud of that. And now she wants to adopt and bring children into her home that have gone through the same thing, so she can be a positive role model, I guess you can say. So,
unlike Dwayne, who's a negative role model.
I know, did you see what he said in here before?
What did he do today?
He's not wrinkled. His fat pushes them out. So
Yeah, that's what we both claim. Yeah. And I claim that I can't be around children either. I'm a horrible influence. When kids are adults, I went from being, the mom who, I've never been much of a drinker, but, and trying to watch the language, and now I've become the mom who's like, who needs more rum in their eggnog? I fear I'm going to be kept away from children at this point in life. I stopped parenting.
Yeah, one of my grandchildren is 6 months old, and whenever I cuss, I always say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, baby." I didn't even say that. I'm trying right now to stop doing it, because when she's talking, I don't want her to mimic it.
Yeah, I've thought about.
And my daughter keeps going, "It's okay, Mom." And I'm like, "No, it's not okay. I need to practice now."
Yeah, if I have grandkids, then yes, I'll have to start watching my language again.
Yeah.
Last thing you want is the grandkids going home with a potty mouth because of their grandma.
I was like, I went in there the other day and I was like, "Oh shit, you had a blowout." I'm like, "Oh." That's
great.
Can't do that.
I'd rather my kids hear it come from me than hear it out on the street and not have a clue what it means, and then come home and be like, "Mom, what does this mean?" Or, "Dad, what does this mean?"
Well, I grew up with an aunt who was raised in a convent, and she cussed like a sailor, and her nickname for me was Little Shit. That's what she called me, Little Shit. And I thought it was normal, and
you're like,
every other word was, and I just, it didn't really, I shouldn't say it affect me, look at me now, but I made it through, and I didn't go say that word to my friends. I knew that it wasn't something I was supposed to say. So
my kids all thought that their name was Turd.
I think I told you about the time, Destiny, when I went this one place and this girl said, "Jesus Christ in a basket." And I thought it was the coolest expression. So when I went back to my grandma's house and something happened, I said, "Oh, Jesus Christ in a basket." She whooped me so hard for that. You never take God's name in vain. I thought it was such a cool expression.
That is probably one of the few things that really did stick with me. I'm sure there's more than I realize, but with having been brought up religious, is I don't take the Lord's name in vain. I'll say other words, but not that one.
Mm-hmm. I say Jeepers.
I didn't see it as taking God's name in vain, though, because it wasn't GD. It was Jesus. Yeah, that wasn't the same thing to me.
Yeah. I don't know. So that was one of those things that was, I was always taught that has stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
But, and if somebody uses the F word a lot, I just consider them as not being very intelligent, because it's so uninteresting to use that word repeated. I don't care what the word is. If you use it too much, I just like, man, they must not be all that bright if they can't come up with a broader vocabulary.
Yeah, I tried, when my kids were growing up, I always tried to change the words so they weren't swear words. Like I said, "Oh, peas and carrots," or
fudge,
or like if I would stub my toe, I'd say, "Oh, shoot in a basket," or something. It was just come out.
There's a term for that.
There's a term for that?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking
there
it up. I'm
is.
trying to remember. Something about oats is in it.
My goddaughter went home and asked what turd burger meant. Because, like, you know, I'll call my kids that as well. That's like, you know, instead of saying stop being a little shit, I would say stop being a turd burger. Then, yeah, well.
I always called Jasmine from the time she was born Chunky Monkey. She was always been my Chunky Monkey, but she's so tiny and skinny, you know, but that's just something that I always called her. It was my nickname to her. And one day she came up to me, she's like, Mom, why do you call me Chunky Monkey? I said, because that's just what I called you from the time that they put you in my arms till now. Like, does that mean I'm fat? I'm like,
Oh.
no, honey, you're not fat. You're my Chunky Monkey. It's like I didn't know how to like explain it to her. So like she ended up having this like weight complex thing. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. No, you are not fat. You don't need to lose weight. You're perfect the way you are. I call you Chunky Monkey because that is what I picked for you for a nickname. I call my son Bubba.
That's what we call our youngest.
Jasmine couldn't say Joseph, so she would go Bubba, Bubba. And sometimes I didn't know if she wanted a bottle or she wanted her brother. So the way she would say it, but you know, it just, I don't know. It was just.
I found it.
Okay.
Minced oath. I was thinking oats. No, it's minced oath. Euphemistic expression formed by misspelling, mispronouncing, or replacing part of a profane, blasphemous, or taboo term.
Yeah, I need to come up with some of those real quick.
Yes.
What is that a good or a bad thing?
No,
I don't think it's from here or there, but
well, at least it explains a whole lot, you know. I mean, even now, even though my kids are older now, I certain words I will still come up with a different way to say it. Just because there's just certain words I don't want them to say, like the C word, you know, the naughty C word.
I hate that
word.
Yeah, that's one that,
That's one word that I swear to the Holy Bible, if my kids ever say that word again, they said it when they were little because of somebody thinking that it was cute to have them come and say that to me instead of mom. That got broke real quick, by the way. But if they ever say that word again, they'll be having a bar of soap in their mouth so quick, it'll be their dinner. And they know it. Don't worry.
They'll be farting bubbles.
You know the word, no?
No, we weren't even allowed to say stupid in our house.
Oh no, we could.
I was very strict with that, and my parents were really strict with that. But my kids cuss now, so I guess it's not really a long-term deal. But in our house, stupid was not a word you ever said.
Yep. You couldn't say growing.
I can't say that word was not okay in our house. I wish I could growing up. That was just a word we heard a lot. Not at us, just in general. My dad was very old-fashioned. He had terms that he used, that my grandfather used, that my great-grandfather used, and it just kind of filtered down through the family, and it made me hate certain words. Like very strongly dislike certain words that I do not want used in my house.
My grandfather used to always call people numbnuts, and I didn't know what it meant. I was like, and just stuff like that I grew up with, and I never, knew what it meant.
Hi, Gary. Welcome. If I missed any of you in the chat, please say, hey, you missed me, so I can welcome you. I do not want anybody to feel like I did not see them. I may have missed you. I apologize. So welcome to another episode of Mental Health Chat, live chat, episode.
We're talking about cussing.
Yeah, we're talking about, the connection between using some inappropriate terms to,
We weren't allowed to use a lot of words and terms when I was a kid. We could even say that sucks. I don't know why. But and then when we do a family group chat and my oldest son was swearing about something and on there, and I'm like, when did it become okay to drop the F-bomb around your mother? And I'm like, yeah. The things that my mother, she wanted to raise her daughters to be ladies, and I failed her greatly.
I was really good with my older two. Really good with my older two.
And then it all went to hell.
Yeah, because they hit an age, as the kids grew up, they hit an age where it was cool to swear, and I'd be like, oh, no, you can't say that. But, like, I'm a bad one for when I get angry, they know I'm angry because I start swearing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, when I get to, when I get to a point where I've had it and I can't, be careful. Thank you. Thank you. Get to a point where I can't control or hold down my anger, I use the F word, and that's when the kids know that I'm mad. I'm like, F this, F that, and I will storm out of the house. And they know that I'm not happy. And I try to turn the word into something else, but and normally I do, but then there's times where I'm just so mad. My brain forgets to turn the word, and I say the word, and I storm out of the house.
I think that's one of the best things about having adult children is I haven't been mad at my kids forever. It's really nice. But then, somewhere along the way, between Natalie and Jeremy, I decided that I wasn't gonna get mad over things anymore. My kids weren't as challenging as some other people's, but no, that was a really good thing that I did for myself and my kids. I used to fight with my oldest one, like I said, but then I decided to change my parenting tactics for my other two. And but then my oldest one, he wasn't easy to parent. So, and in a way, I always wondered if this is in a very dysfunctional way, if he kind of took over where his father left off, and so went from fighting with his dad to fighting with him. That's he's so much like his dad, which it's like, really, I'm the one that raised you.
I can relate. We've had conversations about my oldest, and yeah.
And it's like, but he's like his dad in a lot of really good ways too. The Stones men do not communicate. If they did communicate, I would still be with his father instead of with Dwayne, Dwayne still is a man. I can't say that he really communicates, but he does better than my first husband.
See, I must be lucky because I get, I see how you post things. I have people on my Facebook that complain about their husbands or their significant others. I don't have those issues.
Is it Dwayne? Dwayne is way better now than he did when we were younger too. I think he learned that if he was going to survive me, he was going to have to work on it better.
Tommy's communication is great. Mine, not so much. I'm hoping I'm getting better the longer we're together.
What drives me crazy over here is when I ask a question and I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you want some eggs? I don't know.
Make something up. Just make up an
Doesn't
egg.
help me. Doesn't help me. So I go make some eggs for me because I don't know. To me, they're just for me.
Yeah.
Oh, you made eggs? Yeah, for me. 'Cause I don't know.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one that struggles with that.
You know,
That drives me up the freaking wall.
on the egg subject,
Just make a decision. Yes or no?
having eggs for breakfast gives me a stomach ache, but Dwayne will ask me if I want eggs. Because most of the time I say no, but every once in a while I'll say yes. So he'll ask. Go ahead and ask.
Be polite.
Yes. To be polite. That's very sweet, even though. So now, my greatest question: when in a relationship with another woman, is communication better than when you're in a relationship with a man?
No.
Okay.
It depends on the person.
I need better
Depends on the person.
communication with my children. Oh. I didn't want the little birds out because they've been flying around and dive bombing me. Their flight feathers haven't been trimmed yet. And yeah, they're both staring at me like, ha 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 ha, you're live. I'm gonna get you. The parakeets, they have this new game now where they will start over here and then they'll jump up on the curtain rod and they'll come slowly this way and then come slowly this way and then go whoosh over my head and scare the tar out of me. And I didn't want them them out of the cage until after I was done being live, and they're glaring at me right now, which makes me a little uncomfortable the way they're looking at me. Hi, I love you. Because they're little stinkers. They got to the point where they can fly now, and
We want to see them.
they don't want to be touched.
We want to see them.
What kind of birds are your? I didn't know you had baby birds.
They're almost a year, and one is a fancy parakeet and one is just a regular parakeet. Or I don't remember the actual technical term for them, but they since they can fly now, they do not want to be touched, and they're very hard to work with. So we have to get their flight feathers trimmed so we can work with them. Although they are getting better at being told, well, at night, they're better at being told, go to bed. It is bedtime.
You put a blanket over their cage.
No, they're in. Okay, so the way I have it set up right now is Pickles is over here. The parakeets over in the corner over here, because that's the only place I can put their cage with at the moment, because we still have some stuff we have to rearrange here to make it work. And they like their corner because it's a little bit darker. During the day, they're usually over here out flying around being sassy, because they are definitely looking at me sassy right now. Although I love having them and I want more. I want more birds. I'm addicted to having birds. But
I don't enjoy owning birds. I don't enjoy anything that has to be in a cage, because then you have to take care of the cage, and I hate it.
I don't mind it. I have children that have volunteered to have that as their chore, which is I clean. I do the major cleaning of the cages. They keep they do the upkeep, and I do the major cleaning. So if that makes sense, I don't know if a lot of people know what that is.
Most cages have a tray that you can pull out too. So if you pull that tray out every couple of days and make sure that that's kept clean, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and the kids do that every day actually, because Pickles, he's a Quaker parrot, and so he makes a lot of mess, and so his cage actually has to be wiped down a lot more than the parakeets. Although I have found that the parakeets lately, they make more of a mess than the Pickles situation, and so their cage is actually the way that they want the bigger cage is what the parakeets want. They want Mr. Pickles cage. Because they're in a littler cage, and so that I think that's why they constantly are flying around, going to where they want to be, high up where I can't reach. But for the most part, we're looking and investing in a bigger cage for Mr. Pickles, and then giving the parakeets Mr. Pickles cage. So,
But don't they shoot on the floor?
Yes, they do.
Like when they're out, don't they shoot on the furniture and?
No, not on the furniture. Well, so our couches are safe. Our floors are safe. It's only where they land, like for our birds, it's only where they land is where they will
shoot.
Aim and score. But I wipe them down every day. I wipe them down every day.
I have covers for my couch when my birds are out, because where they like to fly, which is sort of up here when the clothes aren't up here, and it lands directly on the couch when they sit on the.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
But I have covers, and not that I can get nappy wipes at the moment, but nappy wipes are a great thing you just scoop it up and chuck it in the bin. It's not hard.
No, and that's the thing, having the birds have been a big godsend for me mental health wise, because it helps me. I mean, I have kids and stuff, but they're older and they really don't need me. They pretty much take care of themselves. Yeah, they have me on there harping on them, take a shower, clean this, do this. But they really don't need me to take care of them because they're old enough to be able to take care of themselves with guidance. I love the fact that I have the birds because they do need me. They need me more than my kids need me. And so it helps. And they, even though they're stinker pots, just like my kids, I love being a bird owner. I don't know. Maybe this is how you feel too. I don't feel like they're just birds. They're family. They're my children. And you mess with one, you mess with us all. Because Pickles will come out of his cage. He's in his cage. He puts himself in his cage. He's with Jaslyn. He will keep himself in the cage most of the day if you let him. But if you have something that he wants and you want to try to get him out to do his exercise and stuff, it's not good for them to be in the cage 24/7. So I usually have to drag him to come out with some type of treat, and he'll come out and he will purposely poop on the floor because I make him come out of his cage. I'm like, really? You are a stinker. Tommy just came up and he was looking in Pickles' cage and he was like he's with Jaslyn. He does his cuddle time with Jaslyn. He does his cuddle time with me. And then we make him run around on the floor, do his exercise on the floor. We literally have to pick up because we have a ladder that he can go up and down to go on and off his cage. We have to literally pick that ladder up so he will stay on the floor and do his exercise. Otherwise, he is so much of a stinker that he will run to his cage if we don't get it quick enough and run up and get up onto his ladder and get back up there onto his cage. And it's like, nope. It's Jaslyn's really good with making him do his exercises. And I love that fact. So for the 2 weeks that she was gone, he was actually, because he got used to her being right there during the exercise time, being on the floor and stuff, he actually was very ornery. He was very loud. He was very, to the point where Tommy was like, I'm going to put you outside if you don't calm down type. I mean, he was bad. And so it was like, everything I tried didn't work. So I actually had to get to the point where I would put him in the smaller cage and take him upstairs to Jaslyn's bedroom so he could be in there with, where even though she wasn't there, her smell was there, her scent was there, and he would calm down. So I think he's not only imprinted with me, but I think he imprinted with Jaslyn too. because I tried to put him in Joey's room, and oh no, that was not happening. But you put him in Jasmine's room when she's gone, and he's okay.
So my niece is cockatoo. You could hold her over the garbage and tell her to poop, and she would. So my niece would get her out of her cage, tell her to poop, and she would. So that she didn't go on the furniture or carpet.
Oh, that's cool because we got. I mean, Pickles is 11, so he's an older bird. Granted, he can live for a while. I think it's 40 years.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's about 40.
And so
you'll be 70.
What's that?
You'll be 70. 69.
Yes, and that's the thing. He didn't have a very good start in life. So he's a very stubborn, temperamental. Did you hear Tommy? Asshole. He's set in his ways. But there's a lot of things about him that I absolutely, positively am so impressed with where he has grown. Yes, he's constantly wanting to be in his cage, but I can go into his cage. Nobody else can do it, not even Jaslyn most of the time. He's still very temperamental with her with that. But I can go into his cage and I can go like this around his head so that he's safe, and then pick him up like this and bring him out, and he doesn't try to bite me. What's that? Hold on one second.
I keep saying when my lot of animals dies off, I'm done.
Were you just measuring the table?
Tommy was. I don't know what he's doing. So I just stopped in mid sentence, and I don't remember everything I was saying. Oh, Mr. Pickles. Go to the wall.
Destiny, I'm going to have to run. It was great being here.
Thank you for joining.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day. Paddle on.
Much love, Beth. Thank you. You too, dear. I'm not sure what this is all about, but he usually has a plan for his madness. So, but yeah. Yes, a housebroken bird. That's cool. Yeah, I would love to have a housebroken bird, but unfortunately I don't. Not at this time. I'm getting there, hopefully. Although I have gotten it to where Mr. Pickles does not poop on my shoulder like he used to when I first got him. Be like, you wait, and then I will go. He will tug to let me know if he's got to go potty, and I will take him over to his cage, and he will go onto his cage, and then he'll go potty.
That's
That's a
good.
big improvement from when I first got him, because he was pooping everywhere on my shoulder. And it didn't take long for me to teach him that. But he is 11. He is very temperamental. He is kind of stuck in his way. He's been through a lot. He's got a lot of scarring. We may not know his first 5 years of history, but I do know his last 6 years of history. And so he's learning slowly, but he's learning, and he definitely he's not very good with men near his cages or near his cage. He gets really weird, and I don't know. I don't know how to explain it with him, because I don't know the full story for the first 5 years. We can only speculate.
the bird has PTSD.
Yeah, he does have PTSD. And so when I got him, I still was, just starting my healing process from my spleen. I just actually, I think I still had staples in. I'm trying to think, May, June. So yeah, I just got the staples out around the time, if not right after we got him. I got staples taken out from my spleen. And it was something like that. And maybe it was after. I'm trying to think, because May 23rd was when my spleen exploded. We got him July 4th. My staples, no, it was after I got my staples, but my incision was still very fresh. And when we got him, like nobody could touch him but me. And if Tommy goes by his cage, when he's on his cage or in his cage, he freaks out. But he'll go by Tommy if he's not near his cage. So something happened with men and his cage. Hey guys, it's okay. Shh. Yep, it's okay. And so I don't know. I wish I knew from the time he was born and they brought him over because he was quarantined. He's got a band. He's not from here. But he was quarantined. He has got his band. I can't read his band all the way. There's only certain parts of the band that I can read. And so we know his age, like what year he was born, but we don't know month or anything like that. And I've looked up how to try to figure out the band numbers and other things on there. The only thing I've been able to figure out is the year he was born. So what type is females now? Wait, what? Oh, I'm lost.
Talking about cats using the toilet.
Oh,
I have a friend whose cat does that all on its own.
our cat tells us when the litter box is full, and she is obnoxious about it, but I wish she would use the toilet.
Mine go across to the neighbours too. One will scratch at the door and go across to the neighbour's yard and do their business in the neighbour's yard.
That's
We have 2 litter boxes, and our feral cat moved in the house, and she stays indoors more than our other cat, who she prefers to go outside. But the feral cat requires 2 boxes, so that's what we do.
I've got 3, but I've got 12 cats, so.
And and then we have another crazy cat that lives, I don't know, she lives some of her time at somebody else's house. I wish they'd stop opening their door and letting her out, 'cause I'm always threatening to put her down. It's so crazy.
Thank you for coming, Crystal. Much love. I probably missed you by a few, but thank you for stopping by, dear. Hello, Jennifer Hayes. Welcome. So, yeah, Dean, hello. I think they are telling you to stop talking about. Yeah, the birds. I mean, they're flying around now, going back and forth from their cage to over here. So I don't know if they want attention, or if they're planning their next attack move on me. And it's not like vicious. It's just like a game to them. It's funny, and sometimes it sounds like they're laughing when they scare me. Do you have that with your birds, Sonia? I mean,
Yep.
Pickles, he laughs, and I know he laughs, but the parakeets are still kind of young. They're still under a year, and we have been working with them little by little. Now I can't reach them, so it's hard to work with them. But it does. Sometimes it sounds like they're laughing. When they dive bomb me, or they come up behind me and they swoop down and go over it, and it's like it sounds like they're laughing at me because they know they freak me out. And they do it when I'm concentrating on something on my computer.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy.
Mine will just dive bomb me, then they'll miss my head by about that much.
Yeah.
And if you're concentrating or if you're in the middle of something, it scares you. Like you're already got anxiety, and you don't need to have something like. And have you ever experienced a magpie? Do you guys get magpies over there?
What exactly is that?
It's a black and white bird that every spring likes to swoop you when they're mating.
I honestly don't know. We have bats that like to swoop down and try to get up.
If you get a chance, look up the magpie. They're known for swooping people, and their beaks are about this long, and they're a meat-eating bird, and they've actually seriously hurt people. So I'm really paranoid because I've been swooped as a kid and got smacked in the back of the head by one.
They're very smart and pestery birds.
Yes.
Are these what you're talking about?
No. But
Ours are more black and with just a little bit of white around here.
yeah, they're quite large birds. They're similar to a crow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is.
Right here?
Yep, that's it there.
Huh. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that around here. Doesn't mean they're not around here. And I feed a lot of birds. I love feeding the wild birds here. And so I have not personally seen anything like that. I know when we were heading out to Vegas, we were in Colorado, and we saw something similar to that, but I didn't know what it was. And I'm colorblind, so the shades kind of stink for me. I don't remember what colors they were, but that maybe that's what it was that I saw out there. But they were just on the ground eating.
They're scavengers.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll eat a lot of roadkill.
Oh, see, yeah, we have vultures. Is that how you say it? For that around here. And those things are creepy, scary.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid that my godmother's son and his stepbrothers, they would always go play basketball. And of course, you know, I was a tomboy, so I had to be with the boys. And they had no issues with me hanging around. But we had some big old vultures that were flying around the basketball area in our community that we lived in. And one of the boys would always come over and be like, well, you better sit down and hide. You're tiny enough. They're going to pick you up and fly away. And his brother would smack him, come over, pick me up. He's like, I won't let him get you. And I'm like, thank you. And I'd be crying because, you know, the one brother was being mean to me. But I guess that's what happens when you have a little girl hanging around that you treat like your sister. You always torture your sister when you have older siblings. But
yeah.
Stay safe. Yeah, our post office was not open today, so which is fine, no big deal. Yeah, it's crazy, everything that's going on.
We're having earthquakes here. Too.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing.
And yep, so we got all kinds of stuff going on. Well, and then we had a snowstorm this week, and we didn't get it melted here, but like where my nieces, they got half a foot, and so we have craziness.
We had rain, lots and lots of rain. Last week, I think we had some snow. We were waking up with snow on the ground, and then it would be melted by like between 10 and 12.
Yeah, that's what happened here.
Yeah, but yesterday was pretty nice out. Me and Tommy actually went for a walk yesterday, and just kind of like a couple blocks over and around and stuff. And it was nice to get out and walk after being hurting so bad this past week. It was nice to go out and walk, but I still think I need to not do as much as I was doing yet, but it was so nice to be out and get that fresh air. It was nice. And then we all sat outside, and kids brought our glass round table for the front yard up front, and then put the plastic chairs around. So I think it's spring. I don't think we're going to get any more nasty snow. I believe it's done. Maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Well, I'm calling it bipolar weather at the moment because we're supposed to be in autumn and we had summer weather all week.
Oh, wow.
And when we had summer, we had autumn weather. So it's like bipolar weather at the moment.
Yeah.
It's been really wet and humid through the summer, and now it's hot and dry. And
how are the fires over there?
Non-existent. They've pretty much. For Victoria itself, I was looking at the map the other day. There's still some sort of burning, but they're burning themselves out.
Good.
Like, there's no threat.
Awesome.
We had a lot of rain come through, and it just basically wiped them all out.
That's really good.
So
yeah, that's awesome.
They're back burning now. They're back burning now, so there's still a smell of smoke in the air, but it's good that they're allowed to back burn, because for a while they weren't allowed to back burn, and it could have been nasty if it kept coming this way.
Yeah. Wow. Willa said, if the temperatures are warm enough, Destiny, just open some windows. Even in the 50s, we will crack just one window in the house to let a bit of fresh. See, and that's what I did yesterday. I turned the heat off and I opened up window. So we have 2 windows in the bedroom that only one I can open at this time. Our bathroom, our kitchen, and then these 2 windows here. There's one here and then there's one over here. But those are the only windows that we have in our house that open. The big window that's over there doesn't open. This window here doesn't open. We have a big bay window. It doesn't make sense on why there's this big old window in our house and it doesn't open. It just doesn't make sense. And so we only have one side of the house that it opens. So, but I had them open yesterday, and we have to go through our porch, and because that's our catch-all, our porch. And so I got to clean that out again. And so that way we can go and we can open all the windows on the porch. And I'm having Tommy help me get this window here open, so that when the porch windows are open, this one's open, and the cat can come in and out whenever she wants. It's weird. Like, see?
Are they painted shut?
Yes. And yeah. And see, I told you it's a catch-all. But yeah, it's painted shut, and it was open when we first moved in, and so hello, Lisa. Welcome. Let me fix that. So we got it open one time when we first moved in, and then winter came, and he had to do something to get it open. I don't remember exactly what it was. And so we moved in October, and then winter hit, and we weren't able to go to open it in spring, and we can't get it to open. So I don't know what happened. I just know that it doesn't open. I would love for it to open. And just the way the house is set up is really weird. And Tommy and I keep going back and forth on if we would like to buy the house or not. But there's a lot of things that I would want to change. And the kitchen being one of them, because it's like a galley kitchen. And so I don't like it. But then Tommy was talking about we could always do a big kitchen outside where we could do all our cooking out there. And then just have this for like an emergency area. But me personally, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do yet. But I know that I can never make up my mind on what I want to do. If you have storm doors, just open the inside door. Maybe you crack the window open on it. The temperatures. Okay, so we actually had to put a door on our porch door here. It has a screen door that we can open the window, but because our old neighbors had cats, that were trying to get in to get our cat, they ripped open our screens and destroyed the screens. So we have new screens, we just haven't been able to put those on. So that'll be a project for the spring. Both the front and the back doors, the screens were tore up. Yeah, see, and I don't have the strength to do that, so Tommy will most likely do it for me.
I was thinking that too, because you can also, you know, the things they use to scrape, like when you got a hole in the wall, I can't remember what they're called, so this is going to sound funny. So you scrape in the plaster in the yeah, you can also use them and then lightly tap the end of it with a hammer.
Oh, okay. The putty knives.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I never.
Was it? Yeah, run it. Yeah, there you go. Run a putty knife or a butter knife around the edges. Yeah, which is what that'll help loosen it up. And if is it spring based or a string based, like that keeps the window up?
I honestly couldn't tell you because I have no idea.
Either way, you can use WD-40 that helps.
They're old windows.
It'll be string based then. Yeah, it'll be string based if it's an old window.
It's probably from like the 1930s, I swear. Yeah, I don't see, like, I'm looking at it, I don't see any string. I don't see any, it's just the windows there, and then it's a piece of trim in between where the window where the window slides in, and then there's like a big hole where when you pull out the locks or whatever, and you pull it up, it's supposed to lock. That's how it's set up.
Yep.
Very old. I wish. Yeah. Yep. Counterweight, probably. Yeah. No, it's weird. When I get this area set up more of a flow, I will actually do a video showing what the windows are, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's weird. Like,
yeah,
it's an old house. It's from like the 1920s or something, I think Tommy said. So I mean, it's a house. It's a roof over our head, and as much as I don't like it, I like it. I can't make up my mind.
Old houses have character, but they also have their downfalls.
We know because we've been here for 6 years, roughly. Yeah, about 6 years, maybe 7 years, something like that. We moved in shortly after Tommy and I got together. So, and we've been together for over 7 years now. So something like that. So we know every quirk and every negative and every positive thing about this house. From living here, we have replaced things. We've treated it like it's our own house without it being our own house. And so we don't call our landlord if the sink plugs up. We don't call the landlord if the faucet breaks. We get that stuff pretty cheap. So we just call her and say, hey, replace this. She's like, okay, send me the receipt, and she takes it off her rent.
I get into trouble for cleaning my own gutters because I live in government housing.
Okay.
But I do a better job than the people do that come over and get paid for doing it. So
that's usually how it works too.
So I just don't tell them anymore. I just do it.
Yeah. We actually tore, like, our sink broke. The faucet broke, and it was spewing water everywhere. Like it was literally every time it was leaking everywhere. We'd wake up, there was water all over our counter, floor, underneath.
Wow.
And
Yep.
so Tommy took it apart and realized that something was cracked in there. So he super glued it, and it's still working to this day.
Mhm.
That was probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
You know? And then our fan went out in our bathroom. Like we couldn't turn the light on. And it's an old-fashioned setup. So Tommy took it apart and we cleaned it. And it was just because it's old and the connection just wasn't connecting. So we fixed it. But if we would have called her and said, hey, our light no longer works in the bathroom, we need a new one, she would have called an electrician and it would have been a probably $1,200 job, if not more. We fixed it for free. All we did was clean up the connection and put it back together, and it works beautiful now, you know. So we've saved our landlord loves us. She's begging us not to move. She's begging us to stay. She's asked us if we wanted to buy the house. Wow, that was kind of neat. They were doing figure eights and in the middle of the two rooms. It was kind of weird. Government contract. You don't have to be the best or need to show that you do a good job. You just have to be the cheapest and write down that you did a good job. Yeah, that's crazy. And I don't, Willow, I don't know what kind of screen we picked up. I picked it up for real cheap. And they're brand new rolls. So I'm not sure if they are metal or if they're just a regular whatever screens. So Tommy's going to show me how to do that because I don't know how to do that either. There's a lot of things he's going to teach me that I don't know. But I took the sink apart in the bathroom and cleaned that up all by myself and put it back together. I was proud of myself. And then I fixed the hazard button in my old vehicle. I had a Saturn View, and I took the dash apart, used YouTube, fixed my hazard buttons, and put it all back together all by myself. I was like,
our house has several projects.
Right. All right. Well, we've been on for 2.5 hours already. It went by fast. I want to thank everybody for being here. I hope everybody has a great week. We will see you next week, 11 a.m. Central Time on my channel again. That will be episode 14 of the Mental Health Live Chat. I actually have to figure out how to so maybe I'll do a poll. Maybe I'll do a video with a poll on it, on if I should change the name of like Mental Health Live Chat and then, put like the colons or whatever, and then, what we talked about, or I'm not sure how to change it up, but want to get it out in front of as many people as possible. That way, right now it's very crucial with what's going on that, people know that there's a place to go, that they can vent, they can express themselves, and they don't have to be alone. Mental health is at a very high touching point right now with everything that's going on. Yep. So I just hope that, we can reach as many people as possible. And I greatly appreciate everybody who came. Anybody that will be watching later, leave a comment down below so that I know that you stopped by. And let's see, I hope to see you next week. And with that, much love, everybody. Be blessed, stay safe, use common sense. I know we all have it. And be there for each other. If you need somebody, just reach out. You can contact me. My email is down below. Beth, I will put her contact information down below. Heather, I'm sure, we talked about this before. We're all here. So with that, we will talk at you later. See you next week. I am I don't remember. My brain went blank. Welcome to my world. You guys have a great day. Much love, and we'll see
See ya.
you later. Bye. There's the button.